Lara hunched over a crumbling book in the dimly lit library of Elysium Castle, the musty scent of parchment mingling with the faint crackle of the fireplace. Her fingers trembled as they traced the faded ink on an ancient map that had tumbled out from between the brittle pages. The map was enigmatic, its markings depicting a labyrinth hidden beneath the castle she had spent years studying. Her pulse quickened as her eyes danced over the intricate symbols and lines. This could be the key to unlocking the castle's hidden past, she thought. "This is it," she whispered, her voice barely audible in the stillness. Grasping a lantern, Lara rose from her chair and made her way to the spiral staircase at the far end of the library. The steps, worn smooth by centuries of use, descended into the castle's forgotten depths. The air grew colder as she went, each step reverberating ominously through the confined space. The passage was narrow, with walls of damp stone pressing close on either side. Lara's heart pounded with a mix of fear and exhilaration. The weight of history seemed to press down on her shoulders. "There's no turning back now," she muttered, tightening her grip on the lantern. At last, the passage opened into a chamber, where the walls were adorned with ancient symbols and inscriptions. The flickering light of the lantern danced across the carvings, casting eerie shadows. Lara knelt before the inscriptions, her fingers gently tracing the grooves. "A riddle," she murmured, recognizing the intricate pattern of symbols as a puzzle. Her mind raced to decipher its meaning. The symbols seemed to tell a story, one that hinted at a secret deeper within the labyrinth. "Solve the riddle, unlock the path," she thought, her voice echoing faintly in the chamber. After what felt like hours, the final piece of the puzzle clicked into place. A section of the wall rumbled and slid open, revealing a passage bathed in the warm glow of torches. Lara stepped through, her breath hitching as she took in her surroundings. The air here was different, charged with a strange energy that sent shivers down her spine. The passage led to a grand chamber, its vastness taking her breath away. The walls were lined with relics. Weapons, books, and artifacts lay scattered, each telling its own story. At the center of the room stood an ornate pedestal, its surface glinting in the torchlight. Upon it rested a small, intricately carved box. Lara's hands trembled as she approached the pedestal. She hesitated for a moment, the weight of her family's history pressing down on her. "This is what I was meant to find," she thought, the realization settling over her like a warm embrace. With a deep breath, she reached out and opened the box. As the lid creaked open, a shaft of sunlight pierced through a crack in the chamber's ceiling, illuminating the box's contents. Inside, she found a collection of letters, their ink faded but still legible, and a portrait of a woman who bore a striking resemblance to her. Lara gasped, her heart swelling with emotion. Tears welled in her eyes as she gently lifted the portrait, her fingertips brushing against its surface. The woman in the portrait seemed to look back at her, a silent connection forming between them. Lara felt as if the maze had guided her here, not just to uncover the secrets of Elysium Castle, but to reconnect her with her lineage. The letters, carefully preserved, told stories of love, sacrifice, and resilience, stories of the woman in the portrait and her descendants. Lara sat down on the cold stone floor, cradling the box in her lap. The chamber, once shrouded in mystery, now felt alive with the whispers of the past. The pieces of her family's history fell into place, each one revealing more about who she was and where she came from. "I am part of this story, part of this legacy," Lara whispered, her voice steady despite the tears streaming down her face. The realization filled her with a profound sense of belonging. The labyrinth, with all its challenges and secrets, had not just been a test of her resolve. As Lara emerged from the depths of the castle hours later, the first rays of dawn painted the sky in hues of gold and crimson. The weight of the box in her hands felt lighter now, its contents a treasure not just for her, but for generations to come.